Mr. Biggs.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the witnesses. I apologize. I'm in a markup next door, and I've been there a better part of the day. So I want to talk about something slightly different, perhaps. It's been well documented that non-governmental organizations are down at the southern border in my home state of Arizona and other border states, including south of the border, helping to facilitate and escalate the Biden border crisis. DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas was a board member at one of those NGOs, HIAS, an organization which in FY22 received nearly 50% of its revenues from grants from governmental agencies, including the State Department and Department of Homeland Security. HIAS publicly congratulated Secretary Mayorkas for his appointment, specifically noting that he was a primary architect of the DACA program. In turn, with this web of coordination between the Biden administration, the NGOs, and the cartels, it encourages more unchecked and unfettered illegal immigration, all at the expense of the American people. So, Mr. Richardson, please explain to me how these NGOs are coordinating with Secretary Mayorkas and the Biden administration to continue with this illegal mass migration.
Yeah, you bet. The coordination is happening in two ways. The United States government, mostly through the State Department, but other avenues as well, will fund IOM, the International Organization of Migration. They, in turn, have a network of NGOs that they directly fund. And then so these NGOs are getting funding directly from the State Department, USAID, Homeland Security, 20 other government agencies, most likely. Probably no one knows who's getting multiple U.S. government grants all at the same time. And then they're also being received funding from the UN. Obviously, the problem is that these organizations are encouraging and abetting illegal immigration into our country, which is, the Biden administration keeps saying that it's opposed to doing it and yet continues to support organizations that are doing just that.
And FEMA also helps provide the dollars as well. Another NGO, Lutheran Immigration and Refugee Services, reported more than $93 million in U.S. government grants in its 2021 financial statement, meaning that taxpayer-funded grants accounted for more than 80% of its total support. Additionally, a DHS OIG report found that 18 different NGOs receiving a total of $66 million in funding did not always comply with funding and application guidance. Are there any accountability measures in place for NGOs who misuse taxpayer funds to prevent them from receiving future dollars, or is Congress and the Biden administration going to continue to fund this illegal mass migration operation? And I think we all know the answer to that.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, the Biden administration seems committed to funding these NGOs. If there's documented problems, there are processes in order to sort of blacklist an NGO. But these NGOs are doing exactly what the Biden administration wants, which is to provide comfort and support for illegal immigration across our southern border.
Yes, it's an organized, well-oiled machine working to carrying out this mass migration. Mr. Primorak, is that how you say it? What are these NGOs specifically doing to help illegal migrants once they cross into the U.S. or even as they travel up to the United States?
Congressman, what I'd like to do to answer that question is to start in Central America, specifically where the root causes strategy, in which we're spending billions of dollars in order to prevent them to coming up in the first place. But when you start looking at what the programs are, for instance, it's a $50 million regional center to promote gender equity. There's one to promote intersex legal reforms. These are the kind of projects that we're pushing. And second, no matter how much we're going to spend in foreign aid in Central America or other places, when you look at the remittances that go back to Central America, you're talking a fact that tens of billions of dollars, so a factor of 20, 30, or 40 times more than the foreign aid that we're providing these countries. So it doesn't work. It's simply a waste of money. You need a strong border. That's what's going to prevent them from coming into the United States. But there's no incentive for these countries to reform economically as long as they see billions and billions of dollars coming in from remittances, whether they're legal or illegal immigrants.
And I would say tacitly that indicates that there is, if not direct coordination, there's certainly complicity with the cartels who are managing our southern border, and that's a critical component to why we shouldn't be doing this. Thank you for entertaining my questions. And Mr. Chairman, I have some UC requests.
Okay.
I would like to introduce into the record 3 different articles. One, NGOs use American tax dollars to relocate migrants. One called Biden administration sends millions to religious nonprofits facilitating mass illegal migration. The third one, by actually one of our witnesses today, is Foreign aid can't stem illegal immigration, the case of Guatemala.
So ordered.
Thank you. Yield back.